here's a lesson that I learned the hard way, okay? Your self-concept determines everything you are allowed to attract into your life. The identity that you have chosen to adopt through what thoughts and habits you are feeding has created the reality that you're experiencing. For example, when I started dating, I wanted a committed partner. I wanted someone that would show up for me, make grand, bold gestures, and that we could create a very fulfilling life together. However, I very embarrassingly, in the time span of about a year, attracted the same situationship in 3 different men. That was because even though my desire was to have a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, my self-concept thought that I deserved the bare minimum. And at the 3rd guy, when I realized that I was stuck in this pattern, I knew something needed to change. So I see you guys all the time in my comments beating yourselves up for not being confident, right? Beating yourselves up for being a certain way, for having OCD, for ruminating, for having anxiety. Take a deep breath, pause. Beating yourself up and getting upset at yourself for not being confident, for fill in the blank as to what it is feeding the loop of the core belief that you are not good enough. Can you for a second recognize that getting frustrated at that is just feeding that reality that you don't want even more? So the first shift that took me from being an insecure girl that was made fun of in high school for being mute, the first shift that is the most important to make is recognizing what is an old pattern of energy. What are the emotions and what are the thoughts that are feeding your current behaviors and therefore feeding a version of you that you no longer want to live in? As you go throughout your day, I want you to keep a notes app open on your phone. And when you have a certain thought about yourself, for example, you go out, you're trying to mingle with people, or you want to smile at a stranger, and the way that you feel about yourself after a social interaction is like, oh, I'm awkward. Write that thought down. Or even if it's a positive thought, like, oh, that was so cute the way that I just did that, write that down. If you start to ruminate or get anxiety about something, write down the emotion you are experiencing. Write down where are you feeling it in your body. This is the deep inner work that 90% of people are not willing to do, that is able to make you extremely confident because you're getting to know yourself. Because you are confident in what you know. And you don't get that by filling every moment of your free time with scrolling or reels. You need to sit in silence. You need to give yourself moments of reflection and choose to sit with yourself, to notice what are the thoughts and what are the behaviors that I'm currently feeding. Rather than acting on autopilot all the time, you need to give yourself the time and the space to reflect on that, or else you're just gonna stay the same person. Okay, so with this, now that you have documented these are the thoughts, these are the emotions that I'm currently experiencing throughout my day and the way that I feel about myself and my relation to the world, you have to notice, you have to recognize that these thoughts and emotions, they are not yours. They belong to a younger version of you that was told they were not good enough. This is why living unconsciously and not paying close attention to the thoughts that you are choosing to believe in can be so dangerous, because you can be living a reality that you never chose for yourself. For example, one of my family members is extremely insecure. Every photo she sees of herself, she has to nitpick these random insecurities that no one would have thought otherwise, but she is training her brain to see in every single photo. For example, she'll point out her nose size. The fact that she's the shortest in the picture, or the fact that she has stubby legs. These are things that no one would have noticed otherwise. And even if people did notice, if you zoom out, those things aren't a big deal. But that's the thing about anxiety and the insecure, chattering mind. It likes to trick you. The only way it stays alive is by feeding you illusions. So it will take something so tiny, like one fucking interaction, and blow it up and make it into this big thing that all of a sudden decides your self-concept and decides who you are as a person. And it's all fake. It's all an old pattern that is just running through your brain like a program. And so what's the function for that? You might be asking, like, what the fuck? Like, why is my mind working against me, right? There is a part of you that you haven't yet met. There is a part of you that you haven't fully looked at yet. And so the reason why it feels so loud in these moments is because this part of you is screaming at you to be looked at. This might be a version of you that was told by your parents or your peers that you weren't good enough, that was told that you were weird or loud or obnoxious, so you need to make yourself smaller, or you need to fit in this box. And if you don't hit this certain standard, that means you're not good enough. And anything that doesn't fit in that box or that standard is not good enough. Again, it is all a part of the illusions. It is all a part of the chattering, overthinking, anxious mind that is trying to trick you. So real, authentic confidence is being able to sit, being able to notice these thoughts and emotions as they arise. Recognizing that in the moment, they are just old, unconscious energy patterns, and being so loving and being so compassionate with the older version of you that was taught to believe these things. And for this, I would give you a hug through the screen right now, because I believe that we were all born on this planet. We were all brought here to experience love, to experience joy, to experience abundance in the most fulfilling way possible. So, cultivating a real relationship with yourself. You have your thoughts and you have the emotions that you've experienced, right? Set time aside to fully feel these things. What this looks like is recognizing the thought and recognizing the emotion, leaning into, I'm gonna close my window, leaning into the physical sensation of the emotion. So this means if you feel it in your body somewhere, lean into it and make it stronger. Allow it to come with full acceptance, because what you resist persists. So you need to be able to sit with it with kindness, because all the thoughts are just random sentences, random clusters of words that are trying to make sense of the emotion. Again, the chattering mind operates on illusions. It's trying to create patterns and make sense of the world around you. So in order to quiet it, in order to chill it out, you need to lean into the emotion and make sense of that. You need to lean into the emotion and give it space. Now, you'll notice when you do this practice, my love, when social situations come up, when you start to think thoughts about yourself unconsciously, the emotion will not be as strong. And the only reason why the thoughts feel so real is because of the emotions. If these thoughts just came up and you had no emotion tied to them, they wouldn't stick. They wouldn't feel real. They would be like a joke. It would just be like, okay, well, that was a random thought I just had. And you have those throughout your entire day, but the only reason why this self-concept is sticking is because of these old unprocessed emotions that you're carrying. And so if you do this shadow work, I promise you your life will shift. I love you guys so freaking much. You can use this video as a reminder in your comments. If you're willing to share publicly, write out these are the current thoughts, these are the current emotions. We are very vulnerable in these comments here. So you won't get judged. Or tell me exactly down below which step of this process resonated with you the most and what do you want to see more of. Also, if you guys like that I put things into steps, because that's the Virgo in my chart, she loves putting things into steps. And also tell me your confidence journey. What brought you here? I love reading your stories and your guys' comments. And yeah, I love you so much. Join the tribe if you like the vibes, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Oh, here you are.
Thank you very much. My cute boyfriend just gave me some food.